Good morning to you. Nice to see you back. Welcome back to another episode of Herbal Gardens Homestead. Well, I've been recouping. There's been some things going on, so I haven't really been able to make a video, but I'm back. And I've talked to a few people, and I've been seeing some things online about this too. Do we really need to be doing everything that people tell us to do? And why are people judging us for what we don't have? There's a lot of us that can't afford certain things. I can't afford no humongous tractors and all that stuff. I got a yard tractor. I guess we're going to have to talk about that right after this. Hey, welcome back. It's good to see you again. Well, like I was saying before, today we're going to be talking about what our homestead is to us. And do we have to listen to everybody and what they say? The answer is no. Because what you need to do, this is what I say to do for me, and I'll tell other people, do what works for you. Look at all of the education out there. Look at all the things that people have to say. Don't take it, like it's law. Take it with a grain of salt. What you need to do is realize your homestead is different from theirs. They might have gone through certain things that you go through. Yeah, that's normal. And they give you examples of what they've gone through. I've given you examples of what I've gone through. But it doesn't mean that you are going to handle it the same way as me. And I might not handle your situation the same as you. That does not mean that you are not a homesteader, and it does not mean that you're ignorant. It does not mean that you don't know what you're doing. It's just that you don't do things other people's way. I have heard people who are experts say certain things, and then I do certain things my way because I analyze things differently than them, and it works. So you have to realize there's things that you're going to do that they wouldn't do. And some of them might even tell you you're doing it wrong. How is it wrong if what you're doing works and it's not hurting anything? You're not doing anything wrong. You're doing it your way. So don't forget that. There's also some people out there who, they don't understand that everything that happens on their homestead you don't know about, because they're not going to videotape everything. They're not going to show you every single thing. And then there's things on your homestead that they don't know about unless you tell them. If you don't go tell somebody what's going on your homestead, nobody's going to know. And nobody's going to deal with your situation the way you do. So you need to realize that you're not doing things bad. Now, everybody makes mistakes. Even the experts did. Everybody makes mistakes. It doesn't matter who you are. You're going to do something that causes you to mess up, or you might forget to water something, or you might do something the hard way, and somebody else might know something easier. But you're not stupid doing it your way. Just next time, do a little bit of research and figure out what way is easier. Or, do it trial and error. Some people do that. But I will tell you this. If you do things with trial and error, you're going to spend more money. Or you're going to do more work. So it's up to you. But that's all I'm really trying to say, because I see that there's people out there who feel the way I do, and I'm gonna say it because I feel better saying this, because I agree with them that you don't have to have the best things on the market. You don't have to have the best tools on the market. You don't have to have the best seeds on the market. You don't have to, I'm telling you right now, I've seen tons of people plant seeds that cost $10 a bag. The exact same seeds cost $1 in Dollar Tree, and somebody else did it with the Dollar Tree seeds. And they grew and they tasted just as fine. Just as good. They tasted just as good. So, there's people out there with tractors and all this other stuff that some of the people out there can't afford. I mean, that doesn't mean that you can't have a homestead. It doesn't mean that you can't have a nice garden. I'm telling you right now, somebody might have a garden that is, 25 feet long, 50 feet long, maybe a field. Who cares? That's them. That's what they're doing. That's not what you have to do. You do what makes you happy. That's what you should do. Do what makes you happy. And remember, at the end of the day, when those things grow, you might not have a whole field of vegetables. You might not have, a monstrous greenhouse. You can have just, let's say you have a 10-foot greenhouse. Or, like me, I have a 25 footer, something like that. You might have a little 25-foot greenhouse, okay? Or you might have a little walk-in greenhouse that you just put on your patio because you might be a backyard homesteader. So therefore, you might do what on some of my shows, one of my episodes a while back, I showed something that I used to do like 10, 15 years ago. I can't remember how long exactly. I used to make swim pool raised beds because I didn't want to make permanent, block garden beds, raised beds, or I didn't want to cut down trees and make these really nice beds, because I have been relocating, and my homestead is growing. It grows every time I move. That's what I'm trying to do, grow. But you might be a permanent backyard homesteader, and there's nothing wrong with that. And like I said, if you want knowledge, it's out there. You can get it. There's nothing wrong with looking for it. But like I said, do what works for you. You could try things. You don't necessarily, like I said again, need to do things the way other people do it. Take what works for you, chip at it like it's a statue, and throw away the rest. Whatever doesn't work for you, throw it away. Act like it doesn't matter. Even though somebody says something matters, it doesn't matter to you unless you use it. Okay? Everybody's different. But that's what I was wanting to really get off my chest, because, you know, I had a couple people ask me a couple questions. You know, they were thinking about getting into homesteading, and they said, well, why don't you have like stuff like other people, like humongous gardens and not gardens, humongous raised beds and things like that. And if they would have watched some of my episodes, they would have seen that I have said it before, and I'll say it again, just in case you did miss it. I'm at a temporary place. I'm at a temporary place, so I cannot put too much work into something that I have to tear apart, because that'll just make things miserable for me, and it gives me a lot more work. But I still need to do certain things. There's certain things let me take that back. I still need to do certain things that I feel like I would like to do to make me happy on my journey to my vision and my goals. So always remember that you have your own vision, you have your own goals, and you need to be happy. Don't get depressed that you don't have certain things. If you want something, by all means, try to get it. But something else you need to realize is you don't have to buy things brand new. And that stops a lot of people from doing things. Because I've heard people say, oh, I don't even have a yard tractor to, cut my grass areas around my beds, because I can't afford it, and I need to just use my hand pushing mower for now, and maybe in a couple years I'll save up. And I said, how long have you been saving up for your lawn tractor? And he says, oh, I've been doing it about 3 years. And I said, 3 years? And I said, are you trying to buy a brand new one? He said, yeah. Because he heard from somebody, I don't know who it was, and said that he shouldn't buy used stuff because it'll just break down on him and cause him more problems. Now, you have to remember, even if you buy something new, if you don't know how to use it, you can mess it up the same way you do a used one. You know how many people out there don't check the oil in something? That's for you all in there who know what I'm talking about. Just ride it and put gas in it. Don't check anything else. Have to remember those things have a internal life that you have to tend to, just like a garden. You don't take care of it, everything's going to die. Same thing goes with your tools and your machinery that needs fluids and gasoline and oil changes, spark plugs. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, years ago I bought a lawn tractor, okay? That thing was not running. It was dirty, bad, and it had a little bit of rust on it. Do you know that I just took it home and cleaned it up, cleaned out the carburetor, and put new spark plugs in it, put fresh gas in it, new oil change, and the thing purred like it was almost brand new, because it was sitting out in somebody's yard for so long. They did not try to fix it after they messed it up. I don't know what happened, but I mean, I think like maybe it was a bad spark plug or something, and maybe I don't know what else. I don't know what else. But all I know is all I did was change the oil, clean the carburetor, put new spark plugs in, and that thing worked. Okay? So don't think that you have to not get what you want because you have to save up money for something new. he could not save up the money because something always happened before he got to, $2,000, $3,000. There's people out there who can't, do that. There's people out there who can't go just take, $3,000 out of their home and go to the store and buy a brand new tractor. You know what I mean? So just remember, there's used things out there too. And it's actually, if you get a good deal on it, it might even be cheaper to fix it. Take it to a mechanic even. If they charge you $500 and you bought it for $200, guess what? You got a $700 tractor that works fine. Okay? And, I told him that, and he went and got one, and he's able to pull things around on his little property. And every time he chops a tree down, he ties a chain to it with this little yard tractor, and he pulls the tree that he could not move before, but at least he has it now, and he didn't have to go buy anything new. Even lumber, there's refurbished lumber out there, people. You can refurbish lumber, you can refurbish anything, refurbish tools. You find a shovel and you really need a shovel and the handle's broke. Hello? Cut a branch off a tree and stick that branch that's straight right down into that metal head and screw it in there. You got yourself a new shovel. Okay? Well, that's all I wanted to say today, just to let you all know that, like I said before, nobody knows exactly what's going on your homestead. Only you do, and maybe your family, and people who you let know. So they can't tell you what to do for every situation on your homestead. You're going to have to do a lot of things on your homestead through trial and error, and that's how you become good and efficient with your place. And that's the way most people did it with theirs. Okay? They look like pros. People tell me, "Oh, you look like you know what you're doing," blah, blah, blah. And then there's people out there that say, "I wouldn't do it that way." Okay. That's great. You do it your way, I'll do it mine. As long as the end result is the result I'm looking for, not what you're looking for, but what I'm looking for, that's all that matters. And the same thing goes on your homestead also. Okay? So thank you for joining us right here on Herbal Gardens Homestead. I'm glad we could talk again. And remember, love your land and it'll love you back. Take care. See you next time.